Hello, everybody. Today I wanted to share this story, Winged Wonders, Solving the Monarch Migration Mystery. And this is about monarch butterflies, the beautiful orange ones. The ones that we've been watching turn into butterflies are actually called painted lady butterflies. And I'm going to keep posting those on Seesaw so we can see how beautiful they're turning out. But today I wanted to share this story. For centuries, up and down North America, that's where we live, every year brought a mystery. Monarch butterflies swooped in for a spell like clockwork from somewhere beyond, then disappeared as curiously as they came. Where did they go? People pondered, from southern Canada, through the middle of the United States, and all the way to central Mexico. In 1976, the world finally learned the answer with a groundbreaking discovery. A one-of-a-kind insect journey, a remote roosting place, a small speck on the map where millions of monarchs are drawn like magnets each winter. The Great Monarch Migration, the news stories called it. So who solved this age-old mystery? Who tracked these winged wonders from one end of the continent to the other? Who found their secret roosting place, a marvel of nature? Was it Fred, the Canadian scientist, who spent 30 years studying the monarch mystery from his university lab, who drove through the United States with Nora, his research partner wife, like detectives trying to track the cagey creature's migration from Canada southward? Who tagged monarchs' fragile wings, first with paint that faded, then with labels that plopped to the ground when wet, and finally with price tags that stuck? Was it Nora, master organizer of the monarch material they collected, who placed ads in newspapers near and far, seeking ordinary people to help by tagging monarch wings in their hometowns? Who wrote newsletters and kept in touch with all those volunteers, who logged and mapped every tidbit of information they sent into the lab? Was it these dozens, these hundreds, then thousands of science teachers, backyard gardeners, and other curious souls who answered Nora's ads and became citizen scientists, who gently caught, tagged, and released the delicate dancing insects to help solve the migration mystery? Was it Ken, the American adventurer, who spotted Nora's ad in Mexico City newspaper while visiting there, who called her in Canada and agreed to follow the monarchs through Mexico where he didn't speak the language, who bumped along winding roads with his newlywed wife, Catalina, for nearly 2 years trying to track the butterfly's twisting trail? Was it the villagers and farmers of central Mexico who directed the couple to look higher, up into the thin air of the volcanic mountains and their ayamal tree groves, who for generations welcomed the monarchs as soaring spirits during autumn Dia de los Muertos celebrations, who held the whispered whereabouts of their winter roosting place? Was it Catalina, born and raised in Mexico, who introduced Ken to her beloved monarchs, who spoke with the locals in her Spanish dialect to guide their search, who kept 40 notebooks of meticulous monarch data, who first crunched through early morning snow high in the Sierra Madre Mountains into an ayamal grove and exclaimed, I see them up there." Was it Jim, the American science teacher, who with his students attached teeny tags to tiny wings, who caught and tagged the very monarch in Minnesota goldenrod field that Fred later found among millions in a Mexico ayamal grove, who gave Fred the proof he needed, that one teeny tag to announce the discovery of the great monarch migration? Yes, the answer is yes. All of them, the scientists, the citizen scientists, the regular folks along the way, played a part in this discovery. Each person, in small ways or large, helped answer the centuries-old question, where did they go? And now we know. Each year, millions of monarchs fly the same path, generation after generation, from southern Canada through the United States to roost for the winter in central Mexico's mountains. Then they journey north again, feasting on milkweed plants along the way. However, today there's a new burning monarch question to be answered. How will they survive? Monarchs' numbers have plummeted since the 1976 discovery, from at least 1 billion down to millions, a handful now to each 100 then. Chemical sprays destroy their milkweed plants. Logging and farming threaten their ayamal groves. Pollution disrupts the air and weather for their flights. So who can make a difference for the monarchs today? Who can preserve their landing spots and airstreams? Who can keep them alive? The answer is actually no mystery at all. How to help the monarchs. According to Monarch Watch, habitats for monarchs are declining at a rate of 6,000 acres a day in the United States. What can we do to change that? Here are some ideas. Raise, tag, or report monarchs you see as a citizen scientist. Live more lightly on Mother Earth. Use less plastic, electricity, water, chemicals. Eat more plant-based local foods. Plant native milkweed with no chemical sprays wherever you live, for a small garden to a larger monarch way station. Fundraise for a donate to nonprofit organization that helps save the monarchs. Learn and educate others about the great monarch migration and how to conserve it. Which of these actions could you take with your family or your class? What part can you play in the continuing story of the magical monarchs? Okay, everybody, that's the end of the story. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And please continue on to the questions that go with this book.